Refit Your Mind, an excerpt from A Guide for Aging Heroes by Randolph Harrison with Erica Schwarting Harrison. Change your thoughts, change your life. Jeanette Corone. I waste a ridiculous amount of time shopping online for used sailboats that I don't intend to buy. The value of a sailboat drops dramatically as it ages. Old boats become less and less functional. The only way for an old sailboat to retain some of its original value is for the owner to refit or recondition it. Doing the work to keep a boat up to date takes much time and effort, not to mention money. But new paint, engine, rigging, electronics, and sails can make an old boat pretty attractive to prospective buyers. Minds that operate with unhealthy or obsolete thought patterns are like sailboats that have fallen into disrepair. Ideas and behaviors that served you well in childhood may be utterly dysfunctional in adult life. For instance, some children got more attention from their parents when they were sick. As adults, a dysfunctional pattern of hypochondriasis may remain. Children who got what they wanted by having tantrums may continue to blow up at people as adults. Without conscious effort, destructive habits can become fixed and predictable, but they don't have to. People who allow harmful ideas and behavior patterns to become ingrained are indeed prisoners in cages of their own making. Fortunately, there is a proven strategy for refitting your mind. There is a Chinese parable about an old farmer whose plow horse ran away. His neighbors sympathetically said, "What bad luck?" The farmer responded, "Maybe." The next morning, the farmer's horse returned, accompanied by a herd of wild horses. Now the farmer's stable was full. His neighbors exclaimed, "How lucky you are!" The farmer answered, "Maybe." The following day, the farmer's son fractured his leg trying to break one of the untamed horses. The farmer's neighbors all said, "What terrible luck for this to happen." The farmer said, "Maybe." The next day, war broke out, and all of the fit young men were drafted. The farmer's son was exempt because of his leg injury. The neighbors all congratulated the farmer. That was good luck. The farmer once again answered, "Maybe." Have you ever had an experience that you initially labeled as unfavorable, but later recognized as very positive? Maybe you had a romantic breakup that seemed like the end of the world, but later you felt lucky to be free from it. After some time, you realized that the relationship had been toxic. If you have had this or a similar experience, what changed? The event didn't change. Only your thoughts about that event changed. Changing your feelings by changing your thoughts is the underlying principle behind cognitive behavioral therapy. Cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, is currently the gold standard of counseling therapies. While many therapeutic strategies can be effective, none have as much supporting research as CBT. Cognitive behavioral therapy can alter brain function in patients suffering from major depressive disorder, obsessive-compulsive disorder, panic disorder, social anxiety disorder, specific phobias, post-traumatic stress disorder, and borderline personality disorder. The events of your life are neutral and do not affect your emotions. This is hard to wrap your mind around, but it is the objective truth. An event I consider exciting, you might find terrifying. An occurrence that seems emotionally devastating today may wind up feeling completely unimportant when a little time has passed. The positive and negative labels we place on events are purely subjective. That is, they are based on opinions and not on facts. When I first got to know Erica, I assumed that she had been through extensive therapy. She had not. When she described her thought processes during stressful events, they were straight from the CBT handbook. Somehow, Erica came to use cognitive behavioral therapy techniques with zero knowledge or training. She naturally utilizes her thoughts to reframe situations in ways that improve her life. I suspect that many people of color in the U.S. have developed internal coping mechanisms to deal with the frequent stressors placed on them in our culture. There was an experiment where white Americans were treated in the same stereotypic way that black Americans are treated every day. Most of the white folks broke down and could not manage the unfair treatment for even a few hours. Erica's go-to in upsetting circumstances is to choose a direction other than upset. She is more concerned with finding a resolution than winning in a conflict. She is a kung fu master of diffusing emotionally volatile situations. Erica is a natural when it comes to cognitive behavioral therapy. I am not. I had to learn the techniques and learn to practice them. They are simple to learn, but it takes commitment, creativity, and maturity to put them to use consistently. Cognitive behavior therapy is a practical approach to improving emotional health. So how do you do it? Step 1. Identify negative feelings and behaviors. Here are some potential reactions to a common frustration. Being stuck in traffic. Often our feelings lead us around by the nose and we emote with little awareness of the process. The first step in CBT is to be consciously aware when you are beginning to experience negative emotions. Name those emotions and notice the behaviors and physical sensations relating to them. Note that the feelings and behaviors create a state of misery. In this case, the event is you are running late and you are stuck in traffic behind a guy who is driving very slowly. There is no way to get around him. The feelings and behaviors that emerge are anger, frustration, anxiety, self-loathing, defeat, upset stomach, headache, heart palpitations, muscle tension, sweating, cursing, and tailgate. Step 2. Identify knee-jerk, irrational thoughts. Cognitive behavioral therapy informs us that events have absolutely nothing to do with feelings and behaviors. And if you were the person experiencing being late and stuck in traffic, the actual cause of your wretched responses would be your thoughts. This is important because while you have no control over external events, you are capable of changing your thoughts about those events. Some of the thoughts you might have in the situation of being stuck in traffic behind a slow driver are, I'm going to get in trouble. I always do this. That guy can't drive. He's an idiot. He's a jerk. I can't take it anymore. This is terrible. The second step in CBT is to recognize the irrational thoughts and perceptions that are causing your emotional responses. Write them down. Some underlying assumptions that are almost always present when negative emotions emerge are, I can't take it anymore, and this is terrible. Step 3. Forcefully challenge irrational thoughts. The core process in CBT is to vigorously challenge irrational thoughts that arise in stressful situations. Your ego will be the most significant barrier to success because your thoughts naturally feel true, and you are wired to believe what feels true. A primary human thinking error is to mistake feeling true for being true. In step 3, you create logical challenges to each irrational thought. This is the most difficult part of the cognitive behavioral therapy process because it is human nature to trust our thoughts regardless of how ludicrous they may be. One strategy that may help is to pretend they are someone else's irrational thoughts and you are helping them come up with challenges. Write down the cognitive challenges and remember that these rational interpretations are true regardless of whether or not they feel true. CBT will not work if you fail to successfully complete step 3. Question: what if my thoughts are true? What if I know the guy in the car and he is a stupid idiot? Answer: do you want to continue to be miserable? Failing to forcefully challenge your thoughts will keep you trapped in a hell of your own making. If you know the guy is a stupid jerk, question the logic of your reactions to that truth. As you stew in your toxic emotions, The jerk is enjoying a nice slow drive to wherever he's going. In a situation over which you have no control, is it rational for you to make yourself miserable? Is it logical to carry on like a 3-year-old? Besides, haven't you been the slow, preoccupied driver at some point in your past? The only rational response to this situation over which you have no control is to take a deep breath, turn on your favorite music, and enjoy the ride. Note the human tendency to judge our behaviors in a different way than we judge other people's behaviors. When we behave badly, we do so for a good reason. When others behave badly, we assume it is because they are bad people. When I cut someone off in traffic, it is not because I'm bad. It's because my situation warranted me cutting someone off. But when someone cuts me off in traffic, it's because that person is a jerk. Marcus Aurelius said, "When faced with people's bad behavior, turn around and ask when you have acted like that." Here are some cognitive challenges to thoughts that emerged during our scenario of being stuck in traffic. Thought, I'm going to get in trouble. Challenge, unless it is a chronic problem, people rarely get in trouble for being late. Thought, I always do this. Challenge, no you don't. Thought, that guy can't drive. Challenge, you can't possibly know that from one observation. Thought, he's an idiot. Challenge, you don't know him. He might be a genius. Thought, he's a jerk. Challenge, he may be driving to the hospital to donate a kidney. He might be a wonderful person. Thought, I can't take it anymore. Challenge, oh yeah? What else are you going to do? You have certainly taken much more than being stuck in traffic. Thought, this is terrible. Challenge, cancer is terrible. Being stuck in traffic is inconvenient. Step 4, feel proud of your changed feelings and behaviors. In step 4, be aware of the changes in your emotions you created. Experience the power of your abilities. Feel proud that you moved from a childish response to a mature one. Imagine a magical world where you have rewired your knee-jerk reactions to unpleasant events. You are actually 100% capable of making this happen. That first negative ping of irritation should be a cue to start challenging your thoughts. Don't wait until you are in the throes of emotion. Intense emotional states tend to shortcut the rational mind. In sailing, reefing is done to decrease the size of your sail by drawing it in a little and tying it off. Reefing is done to make sailing in strong winds a little safer. The saying is to reef early and reef often. In CBT, we say, challenge your thoughts early and challenge your thoughts often.